What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're breaking down the weekly reset for Destiny 2 this coming Tuesday, June 13th. And with this reset, we're going into the 4th week of Season of the Deep, so the season content continues to roll out and we'll get new steps for the major story quest. Then of course we've got new weekly challenges, plus we'll get some new elements to the deep dive activity, fishing, and the core Season 21 content. But on top of that we have the weekly Nightfall and the return of Grandmasters, so we'll cover what you need to know there, as well as featured activities, rewards, and the raid challenges. Plus we've got a hotfix this week which will fix a few bugs with the season and wider content in the game. So as always guys, I hope you find the video useful today, and if you do, get subscribed and turn on notifications to be kept up to date with Destiny content. But without further delay, let's get into it. And firstly, this Tuesday we will get a new hotfix for the game, which is update 7102. This will be dropping alongside the weekly reset, so potentially we'll have a little bit of extra server downtime, maybe a few issues there, as we tend to see on these update days. But Bungie have said that they're fixing the issue that allowed us to get multiple deep sight weapons a week through the Last Wish quest. And on top of that, they've got a fix for Vesper of Radius, which will be re-enabled. Plus they'll sort out the issue where some bracers don't have their increased duration for solar grenades, and a fix for the Kepri's Horn Titan exotic. Additionally though, they'll fix a bug that allowed certain grenades to go through barricades and Ward of Dawn. Plus there's a small nerf to the collective action perk in PvP, which will see a 10% damage buff instead of 20, and they'll make an update to the new Mercurial Overwatch competitive sniper's scope. And so those and a few other changes will be dropping on Tuesday, and as always I'll keep you posted when we get the full patch notes. On top of that though, this week we have the return of Grandmaster Nightfalls, and the featured Nightfall this week will be the Lightblade. So that should be an interesting one. Bungie have also told us that the featured weapon will be the Wendigo GL3, so we'll be able to get normal and adept variants of that this week. Let us know if you'll be jumping into Grandmasters, but otherwise, we're also going to get new steps for the season's story quest. That will probably take a similar format to what we've seen in previous weeks. And it'll also be interesting to see if we can make any more progress in activities like Deep Dive. But that takes us on to the weekly challenges as well. And so firstly we have Into the Depths 4 to complete this week's story quest sections. And there's Frontline Salvager to complete salvage or deep dive activities while using any Void subclass, and to additionally defeat Hive anywhere in the system. Then we have Deep Diver to successfully complete encounters at any depth in deep dive activities, and their pressure trial encounters will grant increased progress. Plus we have Commendable Salvager to give or receive commendations in match-made salvage activities, Mod Collector to unlock 12 of the artifact mods, and Momentum Crash to defeat Guardians in Momentum Control with bonus progress given on zone advantage. Additionally though, we have Sound of Metal to defeat targets with auto rifles, hand cannons, and scout rifles in Gambit, and we'll get bonus progress for defeating Guardians there. And then there's Darkest Nightfall to complete any Nightfall strike on hero difficulty or higher. And we can see that one will drop an additional Nightfall weapon from the Triumph right there. So that's pretty cool, but finally, there's Precision Calibration to calibrate marksman weapons, including scout rifles, snipers, and linear fusion rifles by landing precision final blows. And once again, there will be bonus progress against Guardians. Then for the Crucible, as indicated by the Triumphs right there, we do get the return of Momentum Control this week, but also Supremacy is featured. In addition, there will be bonus Gambit reputation this week if you're jumping in, so that's something worth taking advantage of. Then for the raid content, while it will be updated, we'll get the refresh on the quest from Soraya Hawthorne, and that'll be useful if you're hunting down any Last Wish weapons. Additionally, for the Root of Nightmares, this week we'll get the Nezarec All Hands challenge, and the Nessus Ablation Shotgun will be the featured weapon. And then for the raid and dungeon activities that are featured, this week we'll see the Vault of Glass, but also the Shattered Throne in the Dreaming City, and these will be dropping their unique loot items with updated power relevancy. Then of course, with the Eververse inventories being hidden ahead of time, that's something I'll have to keep you posted on with the vendor reset on Tuesday, so stay tuned for that. But finally, we have the featured Lost Sectors for the week, and we'll be starting out with Exodus Garden 2A on the 13th of June, dropping exotic helmets. That'll be followed by K1 Revelation on June 14th, dropping exotic legs. Then we'll get K1 Crew Quarters dropping gauntlets on June 15th. K1 Logistics on June 16th dropping exotic chest pieces, and for June 17th we'll see K1 Communion dropping exotic helmets, which will be followed by Sepulture on June 18th dropping exotic legs, and finally, for the 19th of June, we'll see Extraction dropping exotic gauntlets. However, if you are jumping into the Dares of Eternity, on top of the kind of featured loot right there, the additional drops this week will be from the Rotation 4 loot drops, which include the Scatterhorn armor set and the Pathfinder armor set from Season of the Lost. Plus we'll get a handful of random weapon drops from Season of the Lost and Forsaken. If you're going to be jumping into the Ascendant Challenge in the Dreaming City though, this week it'll be the Keep of Owned Edges, which can be found via Harbinger's Seclude. So, as always, I'll run some gameplay of that towards the end of the video. And for now, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Let us know down below if you'll be jumping into Grandmasters this week, or any other content plans you have with the weekly reset. As always, I'll keep you posted with the vendors on Tuesday, but if you've enjoyed the video, a rating below really does help us out on the channel. And also feel free to get subscribed so I can keep you up to date. But otherwise, thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you have an awesome day.
Remind them we're not in danger. We are the danger.